In this lesson I want to show everyone how we can combine two separate polygon objects into one continuous surface. This is very useful for a lot of different things, especially when we're talking about organic modeling. If you want to make like faces or other things and you want to model different pieces like eye sockets, nose, mouth, head all separately, maybe some of them you'll be doing in NURBS, maybe some in polygons, and you want to bring them all together. In this case I've set up a very simple demo. I have a torso or a shirt that I made out of a polygon sphere, and I have a polygon cylinder that I've going to turn into a sleeve or an arm. I've modeled the shirt just a little bit, the sphere really, to get this area ready, and I've taken this cylinder and all I've done is I've reduced the number of divisions on it so that it doesn't have the 20 that it starts out with. I've gotten rid of the caps that are on the top and on the bottom here, just to make it a little bit easier to work with. So the name of this game really is strategy. We need to figure out how much detail we have on the object that we want to attach and how much detail we have on the object that is going to be attached to. And we have to be prepared to either sacrifice detail on one object or add detail on one object. In this case we're going to be adding detail into the shirt to make room for the sleeve that I'm going to make. So as you can see on here, I have quite a bit of detail on this sleeve, and I'm going to need to go ahead and start cutting faces in onto this shirt in order to make it fit. So I've kind of moved it really close. I move it just a little bit closer, and I say, okay, well, now I'm going to have to start making some decisions. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn on my wireframe on shaded. It's just this little button right up here. And this is going to allow me to start looking and seeing, okay, where do I have to start adding in detail? Well, I can already tell that I have a simple and easy connection right here if I'm willing to either move my sleeve down or maybe I'm willing to move this up, this vertice right here. If I can snap that to there, I've already got a pretty good start. Now I could also go ahead and try to move these ones in, but you'll see here that even by snapping these in, and I'm just holding on the V key, I'm still going to need to make room for something up here, and I'm starting to stretch that shirt just a little bit. So I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to see what we can start to do in order to cut in some detail. I'm going to go ahead and grab my interactive split tool, and the nice thing about this interactive split tool, the changes that they've made to it, is that with the default settings, it will snap to the center of an edge. These are called magnets, and I have it set to 1, which is the default. And so by clicking here, I'm now in the center. I'm just going to go ahead and make a temporary cut right here. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. You'll also notice that I've already deleted half of my shirt, so that way I can just mirror this geometry over later. So now with that cut made, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to I'll continue down maybe to here, and then I'm going to continue it down to here, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now I'm doing this live right now. I don't really have a plan for this, just to show you that these will change over time. I may wind up coming back later and having this go straight down, or I may make a whole bunch of other changes. I'm figuring this out right now as I do this lesson, because a lot of times this is what you're going to have to do when you're modeling. You may have somewhat of a plan, but you're going to have to make changes as you go along. So now with that made, I'm going to go ahead, I'm actually going to bring this over to here, and I'll bring this one over here instead of stretching out that shoulder too much more. And so now I can start to make some more decisions. I think now what I'll do is I'll select this surface, get my interactive split tool again, and I may just cut straight across. Now I can cut straight across. Another nice thing about this, it used to be you had to go from edge to edge to edge. If I just kind of bring this straight across, it will make the intervening vertice for me right there. And I just bring that up to finish it, and again you'll notice I'm trying to keep this fairly similar as I go along on both sides. I could go in and start deleting like maybe the back half and then duplicating it over. In this case I'm pretty lucky in that I just have to be careful with this collar, otherwise everything else is pretty symmetrical, but you're not always going to be able to do that. So now that I've made that vertice, let's go ahead and I'm going to drag maybe this one to here, and we'll drag this one to here. Again, I'm just holding down V, and now I should be able to maybe bring this up here and this up here. Okay. Now once again, like I said before, you see I don't have detail. I have detail running down the top here, but I don't have a line of detail running on the underside, so I have nothing to connect to right here. So I could go ahead and connect this straight across, and then I can start selecting these edges in here and deleting them. And then I could always delete this edge and delete this edge, and then come in and I can split right here, and then I can drag those closer. I'll just hit my V snap, and I'll just do it in Z towards there, and Z. I'm just hovering over this vertex because it'll snap, and then I can grab both of them, make sure I don't have anything else selected, and I will once again V, but only an X out to there. So now I've maintained my dimensions, and then I can just delete that vertex and delete that vertex. Oh, that one has complex edge attachment, so let's go ahead and take care of that. I can come inside of here and just start deleting out some of the faces that I don't need. Well, we're going to need that one, so I'm going to leave that there for a second. Now you'll notice this one big face is still there, so I can go ahead and delete that, because that is the inside of my cylinder. And you'll see we're starting to get a really nice look in here. The goal is to get this inside to be hollow, because when we go to smooth, we're going to want it to be nice and neat. We're not going to want to have anything on the inside that we absolutely don't need. So now let's go ahead and try this. I'm going to select my shirt again, and I'm going to, oops, didn't mean to do an extrusion there. Let's go ahead and just cut from here to here to here. And let's go ahead and go just around the shirt. I'm going to need this extra line of detail, and it's going to make it a lot easier to do this part. So I'll just click here to here to here and across. And so now I can simply grab this vertex and snap it, grab this vertex and snap it, and now we're done. With the exception that, well, I see here that I have a triangle here and a triangle here. Why not just have a face? One, keep hitting a poly extrude. Why not just cut straight across here and cut straight across here, and then we'll go ahead and delete out those edges, and then we'll just make sure I don't see any hanging vertices. Oops, looks like I deleted an edge over here by accident. It's okay, we'll just add it back in with our amazing poly split tool. I'm just going to do the same thing over here. Now yes, it's going to leave a triangle right here, but once again, that's okay. We could figure out another strategy for getting rid of that, or we could just leave it be and say, it's not going to be that bad. We can even get rid of more detail. There's a couple of different things that we could do, but I don't think that that's going to be that bad of a trade-off. So now that I have all of this done, and I'm pretty happy with the result, again, I can always go back in and model this once I have it attached. I'm going to select both of these surfaces. I'm going to go under Mesh, and I'm going to choose Combine. We can't merge vertices if the objects aren't combined. So I'm going to go ahead. Oops, let's try that again. Okay. I've now combined this into one solid object. I can see that it's nice and hollow on the inside, but they're still not the same object, and I can tell this if I do a poly smooth. I'll take off my wire mesh on wireframe, or wireframe on mesh. You can see here that it doesn't form a nice smooth transition. So let's undo our smooth, and now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hit F9, select all of these vertices. It doesn't matter if I select ones out here, they should not be close enough for this to work. I'm going to go up to Edit Mesh and choose Merge, and just to make sure, I'm going to open up my options and make sure that this threshold is pretty low. 0.01 is a pretty low threshold. It deals with how close these vertices are to each other. So these being one right on top of the other, one right on top of the other, they'll merge. These right here, they're too far away. They won't merge, but these ones will. And it's not easy to see that they did it, but if we were to now go in and do our poly smooth again, big difference now. You can see down here there's a little something going on, so let's go in and see. Quick way to tell if your poly merge worked is to grab a vertex, move it around, and I can see that I have an extra vertex hanging out right here, so I'll just delete that, come out, do my smooth again. Still a problem down there, so let's go back in again, take a look. That seems okay, and that seems okay. Now something's still hanging out here. There may be an extra face or something in here. So let's take a look. This is a quick way to fix and check this. I'm going to take this edge right here and I'll extrude it out. Just kind of get it. I can hold down V. Oops, grab that edge again. Move tool, hold down V and snap right there. I'll extrude again. Hold down the V key. Snap it straight down. Vertices. Grab and grab. Edit mesh. Merge. Polygon modeling is really nice in this way. If we make a mistake, it's very quick, very easy to fix those mistakes. And there we go. We've now fixed that. Chances are the error I was seeing was maybe some normals that were reversed or something else, but that's another lesson. And now I'm free to move on and continue modeling. I could come in and start making this more of a sleeve, put some cuffs on here, anything else like that. So very easy to combine these type of things. Again, it's all about strategy. It's all about figuring out what your intention is for getting this attached and what the best looking mesh is going to be at the end of it. One that has as many four-sided faces as possible, limits the number of triangles, definitely gets rid of any five-sided or more faces, gets rid of any hanging vertices, and just makes for a nice clean mesh that then we'll be able to texture and animate.